At 62, C.C. DeVille, the iconic guitarist of the legendary rock band Poison, has sent shockwaves through fans with candid revelations about Bret Michaels, the band's frontman, shedding light on decades of complex friendship, musical collaboration, and personal tension that few outsiders had ever fully understood. Poison, formed in the early 1980s, quickly rose to fame with a combination of glam metal showmanship, catchy hooks, and high-energy performances. And while their music created lasting bonds between members, the pressures of touring, recording, and maintaining public personas contributed to interpersonal strains that simmered for years. DeVille's disclosures touch on moments of conflict, creative disagreements, and the challenges of working alongside a larger-than-life personality like Michaels, whose determination, ambition, and occasionally uncompromising approach to the band's direction sometimes clashed with DeVille's artistic vision and temperament. While both musicians have spoken publicly about past disagreements in interviews and documentaries, DeVille's recent statements go further, offering behind-the-scenes anecdotes that illustrate the emotional complexity of being in one of rock's most notorious bands. These revelations highlight how personal dynamics, egos, and creative ambitions intertwine with the demands of fame, often creating situations that are misunderstood by fans who see only the polished performances on stage. The shock for many followers comes not from scandalous claims, but from the honesty and transparency DeVille demonstrates in recounting decades of shared history, including moments of reconciliation, frustration, and growth, showing that loyalty and tension can coexist in the high-stakes world of rock and roll. DeVille emphasizes that while conflicts occurred, the underlying respect for Michaels' talent and vision remained intact, reinforcing that even intense disagreements do not necessarily undermine professional or personal bonds. Over time, fans have come to recognize that Poison's dynamic was fueled as much by individual personalities as by their collective musical talent, and DeVille's reflections reveal how navigating that balance required both patience and resilience, as well as an understanding of how to separate artistic conflict from personal animosity. These insights also provide context for the band's creative output, suggesting that some of Poison's most iconic music emerged not in spite of tension, but because of the passion, disagreement, and drive that each member brought to the table. DeVille's candor illustrates a broader truth about long-term collaborations in music. Success is rarely linear, and creative partnerships are often marked by highs, lows, and moments that challenge the bonds of friendship. By sharing these experiences, he humanizes both himself and Michaels, giving fans a glimpse of the real people behind the stage personas. The revelations also underscore the reality of maintaining longevity in a band that has spanned decades. Navigating fame, touring schedules, and changing personal circumstances requires adaptability, forgiveness, and ongoing communication, all of which DeVille highlights in his account. His shock to fans lies in the transparency of discussing previously private struggles and acknowledging the impact of interpersonal dynamics on both music and personal relationships. Yet the overall message is not one of resentment, but of reflection, growth, and enduring respect, showing that even long-term conflicts can be contextualized and understood when viewed through the lens of shared history and mutual ambition. Ultimately, C.C. DeVille's revelations about Bret Michaels at 62 illuminate the realities of life in a legendary rock band, the blend of friendship, rivalry, artistic tension, and personal growth that exists behind the music and the spectacle. These stories enrich fans' understanding of Poison, highlighting that the band's legacy is built not just on catchy songs and sold-out tours, but also on the human experiences, struggles, and triumphs of its members, making the shock factor as much about authenticity as about content.